Mark these words. One day, I, Katie Spratt, am going to be Gunnosaurus.
The most exciting moment of any Arsenal fan's life, some might say.
Arsenal are going to the final. Just in I'm wearing totally normal 23-degree attire. This is what I wear normally around the house. Yeah, I know. Listen, I like to keep things fresh and keep you on your toes. So I thought I'd just get dressed up for the occasion. Definitely not for any reason, not for any special.
I don't think
special.
anything significant has happened.
Nothing has happened. In fact, arguably, it's been a pretty quiet, boring weekend.
I don't think there's been any significant wins, significant losses.
No significant trips being booked by half of the Emirates. I am going to take this off actually because it is a little, I get a little warm. So I'm actually going to remove some layers. But we are, you're wearing blue, which is a bold choice.
It's in respect of the fallen.
In respect of the fallen? Girl.
Hold on. There we Stay tuned.
What's she up to? Hey!
Oh.
Hey!
I ate too much food for that.
We're both in Arsenal attire, obviously, because we're celebrating the big win last night in Lyon. Now
Did you see
didn't.
them coming back on their flight?
Yes, I did. I saw the little photo, and Mariona Caldente looks so happy. Her little face. I don't know if you zoomed in on their faces. Her little face it's like pure joy. I loved it.
There. She was Barcelona before. Right?
Listen, the goal
Caldente
that she scored.
What a goal!
Yeah, stunning. Set it off for her. She set the pace.
Stunning.
Someone said, "Are you guys going to the final?" Yes, we are.
Yes.
We had the faith. None of this. Booking it just now. We booked our hotel in May last year. No, I just think it's like we did so good. To be fair, we did not think we were going to be in the final. We weren't like, oh, we're definitely going to be in the final next year. We just had such a good time in Bilbao last year that we were like, oh, let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Airbnb now.
Yeah. It was such a good weekend. It was so much fun, honestly. Seeing Barcelona, obviously the final last year was Barcelona-Lyon. The sheer amount of Barca fans, and I know that it was being played in Spain, so that'll have had an impact too, but the sheer amount of Barca fans who were there, like the atmosphere was incredible.
I also feel like Arsenal are the best bit about the Barcelona fans was the volume, the choir singing, but like the only team that could probably match them in terms of volume is
Arsenal. Our Arsenal. I mean, we bring the chants, we bring the vibes. We all of our players have a chant.
This is true.
We are
still
the only champions of Europe.
The only in the land.
Not even Chelsea. So, I have high hopes. It's 18 years since Arsenal were in their last Champions League final.
18 years. Wow.
18 years. So, we've everything to play for. And listen, am I under any illusions that Arsenal may win this? No. Not after watching Barca, having seen Barca play a couple times. No.
No. I think.
But will we give it a good go?
It's an amazing final, right? It's the two teams that I would want to see in the final.
Yeah.
Like the two teams that I would support. But do I think Arsenal can win it? I think there's a chance because I didn't think. Look at Lyon, right? Like they're 8-time Champions League winners, not even finalists, winners, and we thrashed them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thrashing, right?
Yeah.
That score. So, can we win? Why the fuck not?
Why not? Listen, let's live a little.
Go on then. Okay, let's actually discuss what happened. So,
Okay.
first game of the weekend. We'll start with the high tiers. We'll go for the Champions League, then we'll work our way down to the WNL. Okay?
Yeah.
Champions League. What happened this weekend? First game, semi-final, Chelsea versus Barca. What happened, KD?
Okay, so we turned on the stream, and our internet is the worst internet that you could possibly have on planet Earth. So we watched a very stuttering stream. We saw Bon Mati's goal, the first goal that Barca scored, and we were like, "Whoa, okay, work." Because she scored in the 25th minute, so it was kind of like, and I think we start watching it a little late.
We started watching 5 minutes in, I think.
Okay, so 20 minutes, Bon Mati scores, it's like a little bit stuttery. And then, did you go upstairs? You went upstairs to get ready. Boom, boom. 2 more goals from Barca.
It froze. The zone froze on us, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a shower while it's frozen." Came back down. It finally unfroze and they scored twice.
Yeah,
like,
it was 3-0. And then there was a stunning 90th minute goal from Paraye. How do we say it again?
We learned this. We spent
We did.
5 minutes practicing this. It's Parayuelo.
I can't. How can I not get my mouth out?
Parayuelo.
Anyway, Salma scored a great goal, and she scored a great goal, and then Captain came in at the 91st minute and tried to claw something back, but it was over. 8-2 on aggregate.
Oh, that's just quite painful, isn't it? Really, like if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be sad.
And 4-1 both games.
At the moment, it kind of feels like the past couple of games that we've watched for Chelsea haven't been that fierce. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, do you know what I honestly think it might be? I think they got a little ahead of themselves.
Do you? You think they got the big boots?
I think they got a little too big for their boots. I think they got a little ahead of themselves.
Storm V said.
I think there was, look, Sonia Bonpastor, I always struggle. Sonia Bonpastor has she has big boots to fill in terms of Emma Hayes, but she's also got a lot to prove given her own success history.
Yeah. She's got a lot of success, like you said. Like she's Leon last, right? And
yeah.
Was Lucy Bronze under her when she was at Leon?
Don't know. Unsure.
Fact. Half fact, not true, potentially.
But yeah, she has a lot to prove. You could tell that she was frustrated anytime it showed like a clip of her at the game in between the stuttering stream. You could tell that she was frustrated. You could tell that she was, like you could tell the team were frustrated. Like literally every time they showed Lucy Bronze, it was like she was throwing her hands up or like having a go, and you could sense that throughout the team, but it just didn't translate into what they wanted it to.
It just started to look like at points a bit scrappy.
Yeah.
Which is like a horrible word to use to describe like a team of that we know aren't scrappy.
Well, yeah, exactly.
When Chelsea come together, they're like terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's the thing.
Machine. Yeah, so yeah, it definitely felt like we weren't watching the Chelsea that we know. And I don't really get why, because like they're not, I mean, forgive me, I might be wrong, but if they don't seem to be riddled with injury at the moment, like they've had, I keep saying as well, like they're gelling together after having quite a few transfers and stuff, but transfer season was January now.
Yeah. They've had time to gel. They've had time to get used to one another. They've played an awful lot of games, but
yeah, I don't know. But like fair dues, they got to the semis.
They did, yep. And
Arsenal, next game, Arsenal. So Arsenal were also at the semi-finals. May have mentioned it once or twice.
By this time, you'd left the house.
Oh, so I swear to God, the lucky charm for Arsenal winning is me not being able to watch the game.
No, it's because you did your little circles.
It was the sound bath.
It was the circles.
Yeah.
So I'd been dealing with what I can only describe as Ali's worst nightmare, which is a rat infestation that we have in our attic. They're exterminated. The family are on their way out, but you'd gone out. I had been dealing with the rats, and then I came back down and I sat down and I watched the next 90 odd minutes of the most glorious football that I have had the pleasure of watching. I wish we'd been in Lyon.
I know, imagine. And it was so hard because I was at the netball and I really wanted to watch, like, I love the netball and I really wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't stop being like,
yeah, I was messaging you updates, like video updates and text updates. The group chat was popping off.
I couldn't give him and obviously netball's a sport where it's like goal, goal, goal.
Yeah.
Goal. So I was like, goal, goal.
End to end.
Oh my God, Arsenal scored. Oh, goal, goal. Fuck. Penalty.
It was goals. It was goals all over. And what a game that was. Now, it started with an own goal. And then just before half time, in the 45th plus 1 minute extra time, Super Mariona Caldente came with an absolute screamer. It was glorious.
She's just something else, isn't she?
She's what we need.
Everything she does is golden.
Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like she plays for the best team in the world in terms of nations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's face it, she did play for Barcelona, right?
Yeah. So she's pretty good.
I hate
she's
to say
pretty
she
good.
would have played him, but she plays with that Barcelona fire.
And she left that Barcelona team that we saw.
Yeah.
She left that at the end of that season.
Yeah,
So,
imagine if Mariona Caldente left Barcelona to move to Arsenal and everyone was like, girl, why you done that? And then she ends up with 2 Champions League titles in a row. I don't know, maybe she had them more than that because they won the year
I
before
think
her.
she had a few more. I think she had a few.
However many in a row because she made that move and everyone was like, girl, you're stupid. And she was like...
And now they're looking at it and being like, hey, listen, she's the missing piece.
And do you know about something about Russo has got the most goals in a season or something?
Is she the top scorer now? Because it was Bunny Shaw, but she's been out on injury.
Yeah, I think
it is still Bunny Shaw by 1 goal.
Oh, okay.
Now that's in the WSL. I don't know about like across other tournaments as well.
Across the season, but I may have.
So Russo's got 11 goals. Bunny's got 12.
Caitlin's put here for Champions League.
Champions League, there we go then.
Top score for English player in the Champions League history, Russo.
Wow, excellent.
To repeat the fact correctly.
Listen.
I think what I read earlier was that Russo has just got the most goals for an English player in Champions League history.
Brilliant.
There we go.
Fair play to her. She scored again on in the match yesterday. And then we also had Caitlin Ford scoring. Now, Fordy, I think Caitlin Ford has had a really, really good season.
All in the eyes.
I think she's been playing fantastically. She plays with heart. She plays like she wants it. Mm-hmm. And that has been something that I think, as an Arsenal fan, I think that some of our players have been lacking. And not Caitlin Ford, like, can't falter. She plays with passion, she plays with heart, she plays hard, like you can see it. And I think she's had a really fantastic season.
I've never got a bad word. I say it like to my mate. I've never got a bad word to say.
I've never got a bad word to say about Caitlin.
I've never got a bad word to say about Caitlin Ford. She scores goals, but not even if you actually just watch her. I would say she's similar vibe to when you watch Lauren James. Like the things she does with her feet, the technical skills, like the calm coolness she gives the same energy of this is easy for me,
Yeah.
and not in a like lazy way. In a this is still an incredible skill, but it's easy for me because I'm Caitlin Ford.
Yeah, exactly. And she's she's doing fantastically, and I hope that she sticks around because
Is there an award for Player of the Season? Because if there is,
I think there is.
Yeah. Then she's my Player of the Season. If there is an official Al Tom's Player of the Season, it's Caitlin Ford.
Heard it here first, folks. Elsewhere in the Women's Super League, and I kind of like forgot that so many games were also being played. Did you know that the Crystal Palace game was 7-1? West Ham won it 7-1.
Yeah, and that's why they were like immediately relegated, wasn't it? Like
Martinez scored 4 goals.
What do you call that?
I don't know actually, because you got a brace, you got a hat trick. What's it when it's 4? Don't know.
I was gonna say what's 1, but that's just goal.
Sorry, Mairead, we've literally just mentioned the Palace score. She said, please don't mention the Palace score. And I'm like, 7-1.
So sorry.
So another thing that happened this week, there's 2 things I want to mention that happened this week that have been devastating on one hand and exhilarating on the other. The first of that is some of you may have been ready, prepared, sitting on the edge of your seats to see me as a womble. And what has happened is really an injustice.
It's a heartbreak.
I think.
It's the devastation. It's all the above.
Listen, they talk about world tragedies, like the great tragedies of our times, and me finding out that I was not going to be the womble, when I had told pretty much anyone who would listen that I was going to be the womble.
That's not a lie. You told everybody who will listen.
You think I'm exaggerating, but like girl strangers in the most unique of places.
We were in the Emirates. I've told this before. We were in the Emirates. We were going on to the Emirates pitch. The most exciting moment of any Arsenal fan's life, some might say. I am trying to film the event, filming everything around me. What can I hear? Katie going to a stranger. I'm going to be a womble next week, or whatever it was. I'm going to be a womble soon.
I was telling everybody. I even invited my friends to come and watch. And then on Friday night, turns out to be a womble, you've got to get checked. They got to go through checks. The FA have to do checks. And I thought, oh, but I'm a teacher. Like, this is the first time in my life I've ever been prepared.
I've got this. I can pass this exam.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I actually have my DBS check. It's enhanced. It's the one you got to pay extra for. I subscribe to the subscription service so that other services can view it and tick the box straight away. But they have to put it through the FA, and they didn't have time, and so sadly, my wombling career was cut short. And then I was so devastated that I couldn't be the womble, that I actually couldn't bring myself to go to the game because I didn't want to see the other person be the womble.
That's not even a joke. So funny. Like, I love you, and I think we've got through it now. But with tears. And I was supportive at the time. Very supportive at the time. But looking back, that will be a story I will tell for the rest of my life.
We literally sat in the bed and you were like, do you still want to go? And I was like, I actually think I'm going to be too sad seeing the other person be the womble. Girl, I was in the group chat cancelling I had to text my group chat of we are professionals. I had to text my group chat and say, guys, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to be the womble. So, you know, peaks and troughs.
I feel so for you. I got to watch the netball when I got there and was like, how was the womble? How was Katie at womble? I was like, oh, she didn't get to be it. And they were like, oh my god, she'll be so sad.
But the good news is we will end this story on a high. Holly has mentioned to Exeter that I am a willing and able mascotter. And apparently I'm going to get to be, is it Grecian the lion, or what's the other lioness called?
You can't go in there with this mentality of I'll be whatever. You've got to be the lion.
No, I will, but there's two lions to be, Lexi or Grecian. So I'm either going to be Lexi or Grecian. The lion at Exeter. Catch me next season. I am excited. I'm coming for Gunnosaurus. I don't care who's in that costume. I'm gonna be Gunnosaurus. You mark these words. One day, I, Katie Spratt, am going to be Gunnosaurus.
Oh, amazing. I can't wait.
The other highlight of the week that I want to give a quick mention to is about you. This is kind of like because guys, we didn't mention it at the start, but we're gonna have a slightly shorter ep tonight.
It's overrun by like 5-10 minutes, I reckon.
Okay. Ali's got a meeting. But so I'm gonna kind of roll this into an I'm proud of. Al's only gonna go on and be on the BBC, isn't she? Ali Tom on the BBC show Last Pundit Standing. We are all very excited and proud of her. Look at her shying away, slinking back.
You've been desperate to say it out loud.
Oh, girl, as soon as the email came through being like, you're going to be on the BBC Creator Lab, I was like, I want to tell everybody. As soon as you found out that it was going to be a TV show, you know, it was difficult. It was hard. It was really tough for me, actually. I don't think anybody's taken into consideration how tough it was for me.
I think I did quite well at not telling anybody. I don't know if you did.
I did well
because
until...
every day since I've been allowed to say it, you've told me another person that you told.
But only because I knew that they were about to announce it. So I was like, well, it's coming anyway. They're going to announce it like any day soon. And in fairness, I only told like one or two. I only told 2 people before I was supposed to.
You said 5.
Okay, sure, round up.
35. I did tell a close
one. You told people. But anyway, the cat didn't get let out of the bag.
Somebody said I want to know the backstory. So the backstory was you might have seen a few months ago, well, it was in like December, I think, Alex Scott was recorded saying there's going to be a reality show of content creators where you'll battle it out to, well, it was very broad, really.
Yeah.
It was kind of like,
it was quite vague.
Yeah, it was like whatever your style is, like however you engage people, blah blah blah. And I was going to apply for it, and then I got scared, and I had in January, I'll be honest, I'll be real, I had a low month, like a low time, and my confidence was just through the floor. And then it got to the deadline date, which I think was like the 24th of January, and then you were like, have you applied? And I was like, no. I started it and I didn't, and then you were like, you're going to sit there, you're going to make an application. And
it was late at night as well. I remember it was like, we're not going to bed until you do this.
Yeah. And to be fair, I wrote an essay, and that essay, I'd say it's a bloody good essay, actually. I've read it back, and I was like, even if I don't get on this, I actually have put into words everything that I feel about why I do content creation, and I think I needed it in the moment. I think... Oh, one of Alice's hairs just flown into my eye. I think one of the reasons that I was low was I was feeling a bit like, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore, and I had some, like, dodgy comments and things for a while, and then when I actually sat there and wrote an essay of why I was doing it, I was like, oh, you know what, if I don't get on this thing, like, this has forced me to kind of journal almost. And then I forgot that I'd applied, because I was like, I'm never going to get it.
Classic Al.
You know when you just think, oh, it's not going to happen. I haven't put any weight on it, any excitement into it. So I was like, oh, forget about it for now.
Yeah.
And then I was doing something with work where I was presenting for a conference about the LGBT network. And then I remember I was sat in the car park and I just got an email saying you're through to the next round. I was like, what?
What have I done?
What did I do? And then like got a phone call from them and they were like, you're through to the next round. And I was like, oh my God. And then it just went from there. There was like a few Zoom interviews and yeah, and I was really honest and I was like, look, I'm not a technical expert. My entire little corner of the internet is about it being okay to learn as you go along. And I even said, I was like, if you need someone who is a knowledgeable, tactical expert, do not waste a spot on me because I'm not that person. Like, you will be wasting a space for somebody else if you do that. And they were like, no, that's not what this is about. So I was like, okay, cool. Turns out everyone knows a lot of shit.
But you do too. You do know stuff. Like, look.
I do know stuff. I've got
Yeah,
transitional skills.
you're a queer with some idea.
Yeah. And you know what? It turns out being a medicines regulator with a biomedical science degree is like super similar.
Hey, you've got to, analyze stuff all day. And
I'm a good critical thinker. That's
yeah, you're analytical. I'll give you that.
I'm good at winging it. But no, I think I all I'm going to do is I'm just giving everything my best shot.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's all that you can do.
Yeah, and I think also being the underdog means that you've got less to fear in the
Exactly.
sense that, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
And you've
it
got
really
everything to
starts off
gain.
with a very ridiculous task for me in the beginning, and I can't say what it was. But you'll see very early that, I started with a bump. Like, real grounding. And then because that bit was so awful for me, the next day, no fear.
Yeah, you literally came home and you were like, I just went into it and just gave it my best and I wasn't even scared. And I was like, good, yes, this is the Al I know.
But yeah, Robin's put, you're in Arsenal in the Barca world. That's what I'm going to be. No one thought I'd get it as far as
And yet here we are.
Everyone would be like, oh, didn't see that coming at the beginning of the season.
Well, I'm incredibly proud of you and I know lots and lots of other people are as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. It's exciting.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll keep it all secret.
I'll keep it secret, don't you worry.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, thank you everybody for your support. I obviously really appreciate it. And I was super nervous to even say I was doing it. So it's super, super exciting to have you all be like, oh.
Yes, it's nice. You're going to have lots of people on your journey with you.
Yeah, and even if I don't do very well, I hope that it shows people that you can just give something a go. Like,
yeah,
if it all goes tits up, what doesn't?
Wow, can we please get that quoted, blown up, printed out and put in our bedroom wall? If it all goes tits up, and then a picture of like a dolphin, what doesn't?
What doesn't? But it's
That's
true.
inspirational.
You never know until it goes tits up that it was going to go tits up.
Exactly.
If anything's going to go, so much of my life has gone arse over tit, it might as well carry it on.
Why not?
And yes, this is exactly how I think the BBC want me to speak.
Exactly, yeah. You're going to get pulled in for like a workshop.
Because you were talking about our show and you said tit 7 times. Sounds about right.
Just bleep. Brogues, just bleep all of this.
Tit, tit, tit.
The 3 more bleeps. So that is what's happening. Very exciting. The next couple of weeks are going to be exciting times.